Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So for today, we will continue our discussion on standard costing. So ang focus natin today would be variance analysis. Actually, ito talaga yung pinaka-core nitong topic na to. So for variance analysis, hahatiin natin siya into two discussion or two video lectures. So for today, ang focus muna natin would be on direct material and direct labor variances. Then on the next video, we will discuss mix and yield variances as well as your overhead variances. Okay, so ngayon sir, the big question is, kailan ba nagkakaroon ng variance? Nagkakaroon ng variance if your standard cost and actual costs are not equal, because variance is the difference between those costs. And if the actual cost is higher than the standard cost, ang tawag po natin sa variance ay unfavorable variance. Obviously, kaya siya naging unfavorable kasi mas mataas yung actual na gastos mo kaysa sa should be na gastos mo. Kasi yung should be or expected cost mo or ang limit mo lang is up to your standard cost. So if the actual cost is higher than that, then definitely the variance is an unfavorable variance. And unfavorable variance is known as the debit variance. Sir, bakit tinawag na debit variance? Kasi by nature, ang unfavorable variance ay expense. At alam naman natin sa basic accounting na lahat ng expense accounts, ang normal balance ay debit. Kaya nga, pag dinispose mo, generally, ang unfavorable variance, ang disposition nito ay so cost of goods sold, and pag dinispose mo siya sa cost of goods sold, it is being added to cost of goods sold. Bakit added? Kasi ang cost of goods sold, expense account. Ang unfavorable variance, expense account din. Since pareho sila, dapat added ang tamang, o addition ang tamang operation. Next, if actual cost is lower than the standard cost, the variance is known as favorable variance. Okay? So sir, bakit naging favorable variance? Kasi parang in reality nakatipid ka eh. Kasi ang standard cost is your should be cost. So kung mas mababa ang actual na nagastos mo sa dapat na nagastos mo, nagkaroon ka ng savings. Kaya naman favorable variance is also known as your credit variance. Bakit credit variance siya sir? Kasi by nature, ang favorable variance ay income. At ang income, ang normal balance ay credit. Kaya nga pag dinispose mo yan sa cost of goods sold, it is deducted from cost of goods sold. Bakit deducted? Kasi again, ang cost of goods sold ay isang expense account. Since income account ang favorable variance, magkaiba sila ng nature, kaya magkaiba ang operation pa minus. Okay? So now, since meron ka ng general idea what a variance is, pag-usapan natin yung iba't ibang uri ng variance per input factor. Pag sinabing input factor, per direct material, direct labor, and factory overhead. And actually, yung pag-divide natin ng total variance into different types of variance is an output of management by exception. Kung naalala mo last time ang management by exception, from the name itself, ang focus niya would be exceptions or variances. Kaya nga nabuo ang variance analysis because of management by exception. Because management really needs to know kung saan nanggaling yung variance. Kaya nga yung total variance ng materials, labor, saka overhead, sinasubdivide pa natin or sinasubclassify pa natin into different types of variances. Okay, and now, pag-usapan muna natin ang iyong direct material variances. Okay? So, pagdating sa variance analysis, as you can see, pag nagbasa ka sa mga review book, ang mapapansin mo, formula. Okay, how to compute the different types of direct material variances. And I am not saying na mali yung mga formulas na yon. Actually, tama lahat yung mga formula na sinasabi ng libro. Pero for our discussion, I will introduce to you a template. Okay, sir, anong pinagkaiba ng template sa formula? Para din namang formula ang template, yun nga lang, pinagsama-sama natin yung iba't ibang formula into one formula. And ang kagandahan ng template kasi, unlike your standalone formula, sa template makikita mo yung relationship ng isang item sa isang item to another item, making a working back problem to be solved easily. Kaya yun ang purpose ng template makita mo yung relationship ng one item sa isa. para next time kapag nagsagot ka ng working back problem, mapapansin mo at madali mo siya masasagutan because you know what to do. Okay, by applying the template. At wag na natin patagalin pa, let me introduce to you our template for direct material variances. Okay, magsisimula tayo sa AQ times AP. Sir, anong ibig sabihin ng AQ? Anong ibig sabihin ng AP? AQ is your actual quantity, AP is your actual price. So, ibig sabihin, AQ times AP is your actual cost. Next would be the second line is AQ times SP. AQ is actual quantity, SP is your standard price or sa standard setting, yun yung tinatawag nating price standard. Okay, and then the last one would be SQ times SP. SQ is your standard quantity, while SP again is your standard price. And SQ times SP is your standard cost. Kaya nga kung titignan mo, pag kinompare natin yung actual cost sa standard cost, yung nasa pinakataas at saka nasa pinakailalim, that represents your total variance. Ang ginawa natin, from top to bottom, naglagay tayo ng panggitna. Bakit tayo naglagay ng panggitna, sir? Para mapaghiwalay natin yung total variance into different types of variance. Okay, but before we proceed to that, I would like to reiterate na mapapansin mo later on sa mga future discussion natin na kung gusto mong paghiwalayin ang variance, maglalagay ka lang ng panghati sa gitna. Just like on this one. Okay, and again, why do we need to subclassify your variance? Kasi again, that's an application of management by exception. Okay? And by the way, ang standard quantity, usually hindi binibigay yan sa problem. Kapag hindi binigay sa problem, you need to compute it. And standard quantity is computed as actual production times standard quantity per unit. Standard quantity per unit is your quantity standards. Okay? Standard price is your price standard. Kaya pag pinag-multiply mo yung dalawang yan, definitely that is your standard cost per unit. Pero wag ka mag-alala, most of the time sa variance analysis, given na ang price sa quantity standard. Okay? Sa standard setting topic mo lang talaga kino-compute yung dalawang yan. Okay, and the difference between the first and the second line is known as your direct material price variance, and the difference between the second and the third line is your direct material quantity variance. Kung papansinin mo, sa first at second line, constant yung actual quantity. Tama ba? Ang nagbago yung price. Kaya nga tinawag na price variance yung first saka second line kasi it is your difference in price. The variance resulting from the difference of actual and standard price. Pansinin mo naman yung pangalawa, yung direct material quantity variance. Diba? It is the difference between the second and the third line. Sa second saka third line, ang constant yung standard price. Ang nagbago yung quantity. Kaya nga tinawag na quantity variance yan. It is the difference between the actual and standard quantity. Okay, so sa umpisa, mas malamang gagamayin mo pa itong template ito, pero hindi ko pinipilit kung hindi ka komportable at mas komportable ka sa formula, walang problema sa akin yon. Pero I would like to show you some working back problems later on so that you can apply what we have learned and you can realize na mas madali ang template kesa yung mga standalone formula. Ang problema kasi sa standalone formula, pag minemorize mo yan, may tendency makalimutan mo. Unlike ang template kasi hindi mo kailangan memoryahin. Ang kailangan mo sa kanya masterin, and you can master it through constant practice or constant application of in different types of multiple choice question. Okay, doon mo siya mas mamamaster, doon mo siya mas maalala. So, umpisa talaga yung template, kakapain mo, patingin-tingin ka pa. Pero later on, mapapansin mo, pag paulit-ulit mo siyang ginagawa, mapapansin mo unconsciously na mamaster mo na at na-memorize mo na siya. Okay, anyways, before we proceed to the next one, always remember na ang direct material variance template natin, pwedeng 3 layers, pwedeng 4 layers. Kailan siya nagiging 3 layer at 4 layer, sir? 3 layers siya, just like on this one, if the actual quantity purchased is equal to actual quantity used. Sir, may possibility ba na hindi sila equal? Yes, kasi hindi naman lahat ng materyales na binibili mo, ginagamit mo. And if that's the case, kapag hindi equal yung actual quantity purchased sa actual quantity used, ang ating template magiging 4. Okay? And as we proceed on the next slide, mapapansin mo, 4 na yung layers niya. Kung titignan mo, yung second sa third layer, pareho lang. Ano yung pinagkaiba nila? Sir, yung AQ may P. Yung isang AQ may U. Anong ibig sabihin ng P sa U, sir? Yung P stands for actual quantity purchased, while U stands for actual quantity used. So, ibig sabihin, yung standard quantity, ganun pa rin yung computation. Ibig sabihin, the first and the second layer is your direct material price variance, while the third and the fourth layer is your direct material quantity variance. So, ano yung matututunan natin dito sa template na to? What we can learn from this template is that direct material price variance is being computed, it is being isolated at the time of purchase, while quantity variance is being computed at the time of use. Kaya nga sa ibang libro, ang tawag sa quantity variance ay use variance. Kasi ang ginagamit mong quantity na kino-compare mo sa standard quantity is not the actual quantity purchased, but rather the actual quantity used. Kasi ina-isolate siya at the time of use, pag ginamit na yung materyales sa production. Okay, so again, gagamitin mo yung template, magiging 4 yan if the actual quantity purchase is not equal to actual quantity used. Kaya nga bago ka magsagot ng direct material variances, you must first check whether the actual quantity purchase is equal or not to your actual quantity used. Okay, so next, punta tayo ng direct labor variances. Ang direct labor variances, ang kagandahan nito, ang kagandahan ng template natin, palagi lang siyang 3 layer. Kasi hindi naman pwede na mag-hire ka ng tao tapos hindi mo gagamitin. Abay, napakaswerte naman ng taong yun. Papasahurin mo nang hindi nagtatrabaho. So, pagdating sa direct labor variances, lahat ng hinahire mo, definitely, kailangan magtrabaho. Kaya, ang template natin dito, constant siya na 3 layer. At kung mapapansin mo, kaya yung 3 layer natin, di ba hawig siya sa direct material variances? Tama ba? Hawig siya. Nagbago lang yung letters eh. Yung nasa tuktok kanina, di ba? AQ times AP. This time, AH times AR. AH stands for actual hours. AR stands for actual rate. Kasi syempre, pagdating sa unit of measurement, ang materials kasi syempre in quantity. Samantarang ang labor, syempre express yan in hours. Pagdating naman sa tao, ang mas technical at mas formal na term na ginagamit is not price. Kasi medyo ang pangit naman pakinggan, magkano ang presyo mo ay parang binabayaran yung pagkatao mo. Kaya professionally, ang ginagamit na word for labor or for human would be rate. Yung presyo niya is expressed in rate. Okay, rate ang ginagamit natin, hindi price. Kasi parang binibili mo yung tao, ganun yung dating. Anyways, next, the second layer would be actual hours times standard rate. And the third layer is standard hours times standard rate. Diba? Kahawig na kahawig nung direct material variance kanina. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila, again, I'll repeat, would be the letters. Okay? Pero kung papansin mo, parehong pareho. Kaya nga sa standard hours, kinukompute din niya pag hindi given eh. Pansinin mo, paano siya kinukompute? That is actual production times standard hours per unit. Diba? Hawig kanina rin yan eh. Kanina nga lang ang ginagamit natin, standard quantity per unit. Dito, standard hours. Kasi labor na ang pinag-uusapan natin. Okay? At ang direct labor variances, nahati sa 2 rin. Nandyan ang direct labor rate variance, the difference between the first and the second layer. And then, the direct labor efficiency variance, the difference between the second and the third layer. Kaya tinawag na rate variance yan kasi kung titingnan mo, sa first at sa second layer, actual hours is constant, ang nagbago yung rate. Kaya tinawag na rate variance kasi it is the difference in rate. Samantalang yung efficiency variance, that is the difference between the second and the third layer. Then kung titingnan natin, constant ang standard rate, ang nagbago yung hours. Wala pong direct labor hours variance ha, wala pong ganon. For formality purposes, ang gamit na word efficiency. Because if you want to know if a person is efficient or not, ang pagbabasihan natin, gaano siya katagal nagtrabaho. Oras ang pinagbabasihan ng efficiency. Kaya for formality, ang ginagamit na word is direct labor efficiency variance. Okay? So again, I'll repeat, halos pareho lang yung template ng direct material sa direct labor. Unless, Pagdating sa direct material, hindi sila pareho pag 4 na layer ang direct material. And I'll repeat, magiging 4 na layer siya if hindi equal yung actual quantity purchase sa actual quantity used. Kaya nga mapapansin mo minsan sa mga foreign author, makikita mo yan, makikita mo yung mga word na how much is the direct material rate variance. Syempre ikaw na praning na ay alam ko ang rate variance sa labor eh. Take note, direct material price and direct labor rate variance is interchangeable, lalo na sa mga foreign author. Bakit interchangeable, sir? Kasi kung titignan mo, pareho lang naman sila ng way of computation eh. Samantalang, yung direct material quantity variance, minsan sa ibang libro, may kita mo direct material efficiency variance. Dito naman, meron ka may kitang direct labor quantity variance. So, hindi zero ang sagot doon may sagot. At ang sagot would be kung anong lumabas sa computation natin ng efficiency sa rate and then sa materials, price saka quantity. Okay, so again ang interchangeable, price saka rate, saka quantity and efficiency. Hindi interchangeable ang direct material price saka direct material efficiency. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-cross multiply, hindi ka pwedeng mag-cross. Yung kapantay lang niya yung interchangeable. Okay, baka kasi magulat ka, tinanong ka ng direct labor price variance, isagot mo 0, hindi 0 ang sagot Ang sagot sa direct labor price is the direct labor rate variance. Okay? O sir, medyo actually nagigets ko na siya. Kaso ang problema sir, hindi mo sinabi sa template mo paano ko malalaman kung favorable o unfavorable. Kasi alam naman natin ang variance could be favorable or unfavorable. Para mapasimple na lang ang ating computation in properly determining kung unfavorable ba siya o favorable, tignan mo yung position ng amount. Pag mas malaki yung nasa taas kaysa yung nasa baba, for example, AH times AR, kinumpute mo yung amount. AH times SR, kinumpute mo yung amount. Pag mas malaki yung nasa taas, which is AH times AR, ang tawag sa variance, unfavorable. Pag mas malaki yung nasa baba, ang variance ay favorable. Para ganito lang isipin mo. Okay, nakahiga ka. May dumagan sa yung mas mabigat sa iyo. Okay, so definitely on your part, on your point of view, it would be unfavorable kasi mahihirapan kang huminga nun kung mas mabigat yung nakapatong o nakadagan sa iyo. Pero if we will reverse the situation, ikaw yung pumatong o ikaw yung dumagan, tapos mas magaan ka dun sa pinagdaganan mo, edi walang impact yun, hindi siya mahihirapan. So kumbaga, simply stated, ang gusto ko lang i-point out, pag mas mataas yung nasa taas, then definitely unfavorable. Pag mas malaki yung nasa baba, favorable. Isipin mo na lang na dinadaganan ka. Okay, is it favorable on your part or unfavorable on your part? Ay walang halong mali siya to Again, I am pointing para maintindihan mo kung unfavorable siya or favorable on a simpler way. Kesa memoryahin mo yung mga formula. Okay? So next. So let us apply what we have learned on your direct material and direct labor variances on our sample exercises. Take note exercises, 2. Kasi ang sample exercise number 1 would be a straightforward problem. Pag sinabing straightforward, ilalatag lang natin template, then we will answer the requirement. Sa sample exercise number 2, it is a working back exercise. Sa sample exercise number 2, we will learn the relationship of one item to another item through the use of our template. At mapapansin mo, pag naka-formula ka, hindi lahat, kaya naman sagutin lahat ng question pag gumamit ka ng formula. Kaso nga lang, may mga ibang question, lalo pag workback, mahihirapan kang sagutan, lalo na pag hindi mo alam yung relationship ng isang item sa another item. Pero sa template, kitang-kita mo lahat ng relationship. So, wag na natin patagalin. Let us answer sample exercise number 1. Okay, sample exercise number 1. Fanny has the following information available for the current year. Kung titingnan mo, hinati natin siya into 2 information. Nandyan yung standard na area and then actual na area. So, nakahiwalay din siya into materials and labor. So, ang requirement, compute for the direct material and direct labor variances. Actually, kapag na-master mo na yung template, yung gantong question, walang kahirap-hirap yan. Totally no-brainer yan. Lalo na kung master mo ang template. Kaya madalas, ang nagiging mahirap lang sa standard costing kapag hindi tabular form yung pagkakabigay ng information. Kapag naka-paragraph form siya, dun siya mas nagiging mahirap. Kasi pag naka-paragraph form ang information, you need to individually identify yung mga amounts na kailangan mo for the template. Dito sa gantong uri ng exercise o question, walang ka-challenge yan eh. Nakahiwala yung standard, nakahiwala yung actual. So, ibig sabihin, kaya mong malaman sino yung actual amount, sino yung standard amount. Unlike kapag naka-paragraph form yan, mag-iisip ka pa ng konti to identify individually the required items. Okay? Pero pag ganito at na-master mo yung template, totally no-brainer. Okay, so sige, let us apply ha. Ang requirement is for you to compute the direct material as well as your direct labor variances. Okay, unahin natin yung direct material. And by the way, paki-screenshot na muna or pakikopya na muna yung question para paglipat natin sa susunod, wala tayong magiging problema. Para di natin siya binabalik-balikan na. Okay? So, sige, kung na-screenshot na, let us proceed. Okay, so kung titignan mo, sir, bakit apat na layer ang direct material variance template natin? Kung titignan mo, kaya apat na layer yan, kasi sabi ko nga, pag nagsasagot ng direct material variances question, you must first check whether the actual quantity purchased is equal to actual quantity used. Kung titignan natin sa actual area sa material, ang nagamit 65,000. Ang binili 70. So ibig sabihin dahil hindi equal ang template natin, apat na layer. At ang apat na layer na yan would be yung unang layer is AQ times AP, pero ang gagamitin nating actual quantity sa taas is actual quantity purchase. Kasi ang kinukompute natin sa first saka second layer is your price variance and price variance is being computed at the time of purchase. Therefore, it is appropriate na ang gamiting actual quantity is actual quantity purchase. At kanina, ang actual quantity na binili natin ay 70,000. Times yung actual price, syempre titingin ka ulit sa actual na data natin. Binili mo yung 70,000 at an amount of 4.70. So i-multiply natin, that is 329,000. Next, actual quantity times standard price naman yung second layer. Pero ang gagamitin mo actual quantity dito is actual quantity purchase pa rin. Ang standard price, makikita mo doon sa standard na area. At sa standard na area, sinabi niya, mabibili mo ang materyales o sinet nyo ang price ng materyales at standard na 5 pesos. So, 70,000 times 5, that would be 350,000. And therefore, the difference between 329 and 350 is your price variance and the difference is 21,000. Sir, bakit po naging favorable? Sabi ko nga kanina, tignan mo sino ang mas mataas. Kung ang mas mataas na amount yung nasa ibabaw, unfavorable. Kasi isipin mo na lang, mas mabigat yung nakapatong sa'yo. Pero dito, ang mas mataas na amount yung nasa baba, which is 350. So kung ikaw ay nasa ilalim at may dumadagaan sa'yo mas magaan, edi walang hirap sa part mo yon. It is favorable. Okay, so the answer for direct material price variance is 21,000 favorable. Next, punta tayo sa third saka fourth layer. This time, sa third layer, AQ o actual quantity times standard price pa rin. Pero ang gagamitin na nating actual quantity is actual quantity used. At ang ginamit ay 65,000 times the standard price, which is still 5 pesos. So, 65,000 times 5, that is 325,000. Next, yung standard quantity, hindi mo talaga makikita sa problem yan kasi madalas kinukompute yan. At paano kinukompute yung standard quantity? That is actual production. Nakita mo naman sa problem na during the month, ang actual na production ng kumpanya is 25,000. Ang standard quantity per unit, makikita mo sa standard na area. At ang nakalagay sa standard na area, bawat isang piraso ng finished good, kumakain ng 2.5 units or 2.5 na quantity ng iyong materyales. So, 25,000 times 2.5, that is 62,500. Times the standard price again, which is 5 pesos. So, 62,500 times 5, that is 312,500. Therefore, our direct material quantity variance is 12,500 unfavorable. Bakit unfavorable? Kasi mas mataas yung nasa taas kaysa sa nasa baba. So again, this would be our answers for your direct material variances. Di ba walang ka-challenge ang variance analysis? Lalo na kapag ikaw ay naka-template. Super no-brainer. Okay, itong topic na to, standard costing, it is an easy topic. Easy topic siya if you can master the template. Okay, ang poproblemahin mo na lang sa topic na to would be the theoretical question. Okay, so next, tapusin na natin tong exercise na to. Punta tayo sa direct labor variances natin. Kung titinan natin ang direct labor variance, 3 layer lang yan at palaging 3 layer lang yan. Kahit na kailan hindi yan magiging 4. Okay, so again, ang unang layer natin is actual hours times actual rate. Siyempre, makikita mo yan sa actual na area. Ang actual hours na nagamit ngayong buwan would be 80,500 at ang binayad mong rate per hour is 4.25. Kaya pag pinag-multiply natin, that is 342,125. Next, ang second layer natin is actual hours pa rin. Okay, 80,500. Pero para makompute ang rate variance, which is the difference between the first and the second layer, kailangan natin is not the actual rate but the standard rate. At makikita mo ulit ang standard rate doon sa standard area. At ang standard rate natin is 4 pesos. So 80,500 times 4 pesos, that would be 322,000. So again, the difference between the two amount would be the rate variance, which is 20,125. Unfavorable. Bakit unfavorable? Kasi mas malaki yung nasa taas. Okay, last layer na, di ba? Walang ka-challenge. Boring. Actually, sobrang boring nitong topic na to kasi napakadali kapag may template ka. Sa standard hours, ang computation niyan is actual production na 25,000 pa rin times your standard hours per unit, which is 3.4. Siyempre, makikita mo sa standard na area. So, ang standard hours natin is 85,000 times the standard rate of 4 pesos. Ang amount niyan is 340. Therefore, ang ating efficiency variance, which is the difference in hours, is 18,000. This time, favorable kasi mas malaki yung nasa baba kaysa sa nasa taas. Okay, so this would be our answers for sample exercise number 1. Walang ka-challenge. Okay, so let us proceed to sample exercise number 2. So again, this is a working back exercise. So on sample exercise number 2, meron tayong dalawang cases na sasagutan. So we will use our direct labor variances template. So kung papansinin mo sa case 1 saka case 2, hindi actually tinatanong yung rate saka efficiency variance. Yung tinatanong yung mga amounts in between. Okay, so again, mas madaling masagutan yan if you will use the template kasi makikita mo directly yung relationship ng isang item to another item. Okay, so let us answer first case 1. So paki-screenshot na muna para di na natin babalikan later on. So sa case number 1, merong 5 given na your units produced that represents your actual production, the standard hours per unit, the standard rate per hour, the rate variance, and your efficiency variance. Okay, so sige, let us answer case 1. So again, kung titira mo, ang template natin, since direct labor yan, 3 layers lang ulit. And then after mo mailatag yung 3 layers na yan, yung may multiplication na sign and then equal sign, ilatag mo na ngayon yung mga given information. Ang unang given would be actual production at alam natin ang actual production nasa baba, which is 3,000. Next na binigay is your standard hours per unit na 2 hours. Then binigay yung standard rate, okay, na 12 kasi alam naman natin ang standard rate nasa second saka third layer yan. And then binigay yung rate variance na 900 unfavorable, saka efficiency variance na 1,800 favorable. Okay, so kung titinan mo, automatic by using the template, ang una natin kayang sagutan is your standard hours because standard hours is 3,000 times 2. So the answer is automatically 6,000. Okay? Sir, naku, parang wala nang kayang sagutan. Mukha lang wala, pero meron. kung papansinin mo, pag minultiply mo yung 6,000 times 12, which is 72,000, pwede nating paakyatin yung 72,000 papuntang second layer. Kung nakikita mo yung gusto kong i-point out. Pero para mapaakyat mo yan, papadaanin mo dun sa 1,800 favorable. Kapag favorable, mas malaki yung nasa baba kaysa nasa taas. So, para ma-work back mo yan, o ma-work up pala, work up, what you need to do is to deduct 1,800 to 72,000. So, ang lalabas dyan would be 70,200. So, again, saan galing yon? 72,000 minus 1,800. Kasi para masatisfy mo yung pagiging favorable, kailangan mas malaki yung 72,000. So, kung papansinin mo, kapag na-compute mo na yung 70,200, that's the time that you can divide it by 12. At ang lalabas ay actual hours na 5,850. Okay? Actually, hindi tinatanong yung actual rate. Okay? Ang tinatanong na isa pa is actual cost or actual labor cost. Sir, ano ibig sabihin ng actual labor cost? Actual labor cost is the amount after you multiplied actual hours to your actual rate. Obviously, hindi binigay yung actual rate. Tama ba? Kaya hindi mo siya kayang padaanin even though may actual hours na tayo na 5,850. So, yung actual labor cost kasi is yung unang layer after your equal sign. So, kung titignan natin, para mapapunta natin yun, papadaanin natin sa 900 na rate variance. At dahil unfavorable, dapat mas malaki yung nasa taas. So, para mas malaki yung nasa taas, you need to add 900 to 70,200. At pag inad mo yan, that is 71,100. And kung titinan mo, natapos na natin, we satisfied or we filled in all the missing data of case number 1. Okay? Pero nilatag ko na lang din yung 5,850 saka 12.15 even though hindi naman nire-require na ng problem yung actual rate, baka kasi di ka makatulog mamayang gabi kasi may kulang na data. Kaysa nanggaling yung 12.15 sir, since may 5,850 ka na, iakyat mo lang yon, then 71,100 divided by 5,850, that is 12.15. Kasi hindi binigay sa problem yan at hindi naman din nire-require. Pero nilagay na lang natin para kompleto yung template. Okay, this would be case number 1. Okay, punta naman tayo ng case 2. So I assume na screenshot mo na yung kaninang sample exercise natin. Okay, so let us again answer case number 2. So sa case number 2, ganun pa rin, tatlong layers siya. At ang unang given dyan would be your standard hours. Binigay na ng case number 2. Next na given would be your standard hours per unit na 3. Then binigay yung actual labor cost na 24,500. Then binigay yung rate variance na 300. Favorable, and then efficiency variance na 800 unfavorable. Okay, so kung titinan natin, ang una nating kayang masolve based on the given information would be your actual production. Tama ba? Paano natin makukompute yung actual production, sir? Diba kaninang ginawa natin para makompute yung standard hours, that is actual production times standard hours per unit. This time, to compute actual production, that is 6,000 divided by 3, our actual production is 2,000 units. Okay. Next, naku, parang wala nang patutunguhan to. Parang ang dami pang blanco. Pero kung titinan natin, ang susunod mong kayang makompute na lang talaga is pababain yung 24,500 hanggang sa pinakababa. Tama? Pag pinababa mo yan hanggang pinakababa, that is 24,500 plus 300. Okay, bakit plus? Kasi ang difference nila ay favorable, mas mataas dapat yung, o mas malaki dapat yung nasa baba. Then, kapag pinababa mo ulit yan, since unfavorable, dapat mas malaki yung 24,800 kaysa sa nasa baba niya. So, that should be 24,800 minus 800, that is 24,000. And that's the time, kung titignan mo, makukompute mo na yung standard rate. At ang standard rate natin ay 4 pesos. Di ba napakadali? Pag nag-formula ka, mahihirapan kang i-analyze yung relationship na yun. Pero sa template, kung titignan mo, hanggat kayang maipababa, hanggat kayang mai-times, hanggat kayang mai-divide, dire-diretso mo lang. May makukompute kang amount dyan. Okay, at alam naman natin, ang standard rate nasa second layer din. So, 24,800 divided by 4, that is your actual hours na 6,200. And again, as we can see, we already satisfied all the requirements of case 2. Pero again, para makatulog ka mamayang gabi, kasi baka di ka na naman makatulog kasi may kulang, this is 6.2, and then the actual rate, which is the amount after you divide 24,500 by 6,200, your actual rate is 3.95. Okay, so this would be the answers of case number 2 of our sample exercise number 2. And this will conclude our first video lecture on variance analysis. So stay tuned on our next video lecture. We will discuss mix and yield variances as well as your overhead variances. Okay, thank you everyone. God bless you all.